All right, thanks so much for staying here with us. And we told you that when we come back, we have our guest. Our guest is a friend of the house, a PR expert who knows any and everything about, this entertainment industry, and a movie producer too. Samuel, Big Sam Olatunji is in the studio, guys.
Like a celebrity or like a normal person?
Yeah, of course.
Well, let's do like this. Let's do like this.
Welcome.
Top.
Oh, thank you.
So
thank
fashionable.
you. Made in Nigeria by Lanre Lagos, actually.
Wow.
So did you say that you should come and market?
No, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. So
No, ask what are you wearing?
Made in Nigeria, actually.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Thank you. So good to be here on the pod, OJ and Amanda.
Wow.
All right.
Hey.
So we are going to roast you today.
Okay.
Beg us.
I used to do this. I used to roast a lot of people. Maybe
So-
it's karma. Maybe it's karma.
All right, Big Sam, let's start with, you being a PR person and now a movie producer. And you've done a couple of, you've produced a couple of movies right now. And we just want to know, what's the relationship here? You are the PR person. I know that you do PR for Toyin Abraham, Messi Aigbe sometimes, like a host of them, like a lot of them. And I really want to know how this actually translates to real work when you have to. Yes.
Okay, I think I would say I have communication inside of me. I say this all the time, that this is what I'm born to do. I'm born to do communication. I'm born to do media. And if you look at it, for those who study that in school, entertainment is part of it, media is part of it, and under entertainment you have management part of it. I don't think I can do anything outside of media and entertainment. This is what I'm born to do. Communication is my destiny.
Wow, that's deep. I love that.
Huge
It's
destiny.
I love that totally. Now, is there a particular strategy or technique towards it? Because as a PR expert, I think it's a skill that a lot of entertainers or people in the media industry need. But for someone like you just go out, everybody just like, Big Sam, Big Sam. So is there a strategy to it?
Actually, this is one of the few times I'm in front of cameras. I mean, I'm not a front of camera kind of a person, and I don't think I want to be. There are days I live off Allen. So in those days, I used to walk from my house to Ikeja Cinema just to go and see a movie. And I could do that because I'm not a celebrity. The day you become a celebrity, you can't do that anymore. I mean, the day you don't have money, you're already on the spot and everything. And by the way, I also do not think it's a smart thing for managers and PR people to struggle for spotlight with the people that they project. But based on what I'm doing at the moment, I have to be in front of camera. This is what business will call exigency. So it's business exigency. So after the affair, I go back to behind my camera. But I'm going to say this to your question. The Bible will say, "See thou a man diligent in his work, he would stand before kings." And what that means is that he's going to get recognition. I've been here for a long time. I've done PR, I've done management for some of the biggest names, from Basketball to Motola to. You mentioned some people that lean heavily to Yoruba people. I just started working with Yoruba people in 2017. I don't work with them. They are not my friends, maybe except for Funke Akindele in those days, being Bottomos. Those were really the only friends I have in Yoruba industry. Never really worked with them.
Is there a reason why?
Because the kind of money we started with, the industry could not afford it as at that time. In 2009, Mercy Johnson was giving me 500,000 every 3 months.
Okay.
So there was no Yoruba person that could do that
As
at that time. So then Funke had the breakthrough. Then Funke worked with me. Then Funke and I became friends. When she was in Unilag that time or so, when we kind of knew. Then over a period of time, she had the breakthrough among them, became friends. So she could afford us at that time. We started working together. But much more later, though, I kind of broadened it and said, you know what, maybe we should chill on the money and focus on building and developing people. And one of the people that you mentioned, interesting story. I've never said this on camera before, but I've said it to a couple of my friends. When the person came to me, the person came with Samsung, is it S6 or X7, and 2017, I can't remember which one was that time. And the person was still owing 150,000 on that phone. So, I mean, you were here to pay for 150,000. So, how could you afford a big Sam as at that time?
Yeah.
So, but by that time, we'd broken down the vision and say, you know what, let's focus on building people more than the money. And as at that time, we could afford the basic needs of our own lives. So maybe find a way to build more people.
Oh, no.
Do more.
Talking about money, OJ, I would allow you to. I just want to take a cue from this. Talking about money, now that you have a very good relationship with almost all of these people, and then you have your own production, now when you want to do this, because I hear that there are cliques and there are sometimes that, well, these actors don't get well paid.
And
so do you do this on Paddy Paddy, you're my friend?
Never. It's so funny. I just finished directing a movie and my directorial debut, Deafi, and I will shock you to say that the cast money was 11 million.
Wow.
The money we give to casts.
So Big Sam, I used to ask too.
Yeah.
It's what I gave.
But you know, this year we are going to do. We are doing a lot of. I've said to people, I'll be involved more in video production this year.
That's fantastic.
Last quarter of this year, we'll be producing music videos for musicians. We just have a plan. So we have like 3-4 movies we have planned. I think March or April we'll start. We'll be on location again. So what I plan to do. Again, spending 11 million on this one for all these big names. I don't think there's practically any major big name that is not in DRF. But I'm not going to do that for the next production. Maybe we just spend those money, half of a quarter of that, or a small fraction of that on 2 major names, and every other person. Because you see, I said it this year that in our management company, we are going to build 4 new people, 4 girls, 1 boy. And we say, why 4 girls? Women make more money than men. So there's no point to spend all your energy on men. OJ, don't bother.
Private jet and...
Absolutely. Look at it this way. The person that was in my office in 2017, owing 150,000 to balance for a phone, last year bought cars worth over 12 million. 2 years ago, bought a house of her own. Lives in a house of like 3.5 or 3.7 million per annum. I mean, just bought business tax ticket for a family now, about 3 million. I mean, that's the testimony. And let me say this, OJ, you see, the kind of investment you make in women that we eat over a period of time, in 2 years, the person has left debt and now living well. If you are going to do that for a guy, you are going to have to triple that effort.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's the
way God created us
so Big Sam. In fact, we have a lot of things to even talk about. So we were talking about bleaching the other time.
Yeah.
And so we realized that, of course, it is very known to everybody that most of these actors bleach the women, in fact, some of the men too, or most of them, they bleach.
Yeah.
And they say that because of the producers and directors, they want them light-skinned because somehow they are the ones who bring a lot of, not to say that being naturally light-skinned is, well, I'm not being derogatory about this.
I think that's a lazy man excuse. It's a lie. It's a lie.
I think
Genevieve is dark skinned.
Is it because you're light skinned?
No, there are a lot of people
Mercy
that are in the
Johnson
industry that are dark and are succeeding.
Dark-skinned. And Mercy, at a point, was #1 actress in Nigeria, dark skin. Same thing for Genevieve. I mean, these things don't. I was talking to Linda Osifo yesterday. Linda is dark skinned, and Linda is pretty. I mean, Linda
so why do people feel pressure to bleach, especially in this industry?
It's a personal insecurity, really.
I love that answer.
It's a personal insecurity.
I would say the same.
You have to, I mean, look at it this way. Today, an actress reached out to me. Maybe this is not a fair thing to say on air, but I won't mention name. And the person was crying. And I said, why are you crying? And she said, this particular actress drives Benz. This person just bought a house in BGC or somewhere for 60 million. And I said, I met you in February last year. When I met you in February, you were living with somebody. This year, you have a house of your own. People want to live with you. You were not acting in February. You started acting like last quarter of last year, and you're already in 3 big cinema movies. You are on a set with established actor in Abuja now, and they paid you more than they paid some of those established actors. Okay, maybe there's a big Sam factor because I negotiated, but at least they paid you more. And I said, so why are you crying? I mean, point is, if I want to be motivational, life devil want to put it in now that you are disadvantaged.
Yes.
But within 1 year, it's not even up to 1 year. Look at what I mean, if it were a church now, they say what a testimony. Look at what has happened to the person. All of a sudden,
Oh, Big Sam, leave me alone.
all of a sudden you have black skin and you are like, you want to be like Amanda. Man, I don't even want Amanda. You don't know. I want that girl with the black skin.
Oh, shit.
So it's a personal thing, really. For me, I think is a okay, let me say this. One of my nicknames in secondary school was Red Bororo. I used to be light skin,
Okay.
and my face used to be very like this. And if you remember in agriculture, when they taught us different type of cattle, you remember Red Bororo, one of those. So my classmates nicknamed me Red Bororo. And all of a sudden, I'm no longer fair. It really doesn't take anything away from me. I'm still Big Sam. I mean, there are places I enter that people deal with me because I'm Big Sam, not necessarily because
Of your
my
color.
skin. Now, I am not saying do not pay attention to how you look, and I am not also against bleaching. If bleaching will help your life, please bleach. So, I mean, what I have issues with is if it's going to jeopardize your life, if it's going to give you health issue, I mean, you don't need to do some of those things. But the
That's an
pressure
interesting
that is
point
the
of
producer thing is absolutely not
Okay,
true.
talking about production, let's talk about movies that you've been involved with.
Okay.
There was 7.5 Days.
Yeah,
And
there
now your
was,
directorial
Ghost and the Tout.
debut, Afi. Tell us about all of these movies that you.
Okay,
Before
I've
the
always
Afi,
known
before the
I've
Afi.
always known that I would do something in movies. In 2003, I wrote a script called The Enoch, and I gave it to Said Balogun. I mean, I was a journalist that time, so I don't know what happened to the script that now. I just read Mieli Nesike's book, and I was very inspired. I mean, and I wrote, and I needed to write a story that was that compelling, like Maze Novel. I don't know why we don't have Maze Novel. God bless that woman. So I wish I'd met her while she was alive. Then I gave it to Said. Said didn't do anything about it. I still have the story in my head, and I'm still going to do it in the future. Then I said, and I do a lot of entertainment journalism. I'm sure you know. Then 2016, I've left journalism like 5 years before then. I decided to go to a film school.
Okay.
Because I said, if I'm going to play in this business, let us play big. But you know, if you are going to play big, you need to also learn to start small.
Yeah.
So I went to Tunde Kelani Film School. I was there for 60 days in Abeokuta. Then I left. Then in 2017, I started working with Toyin. Uche Jumbo is my very good friend. So sometimes I go to her house and sleep. So Uche will tease me, Sam, this movie you said you want to do since 5 years ago, when are you going to do it? I mean, she will say that all the time that I'm sleeping over in her house. So we just laugh about it. Then I met Toyin. Then Toyin said, Big Sam, let's do a movie together. And I said, okay. Then she came up with the story of the Ghost and the Tout. So, okay, how much are we going to spend on this thing? Like 8 million. Of course, I was managing at that time. So I came up with some money. She came up with some. Then the click thing now worked. The click thing Onipo spoke about earlier. She could call somebody and say, James, you need 1 million. I don't know how to do that. I just, let's do business and go. But I can say, oh, it's 2,000 I have. Can you take it? You can't take it. I move to OJ. OJ can't take it.
Most people call that friendship currency, though. I think that's what you have.
It's also part of it. I mean, it's also part. I mean, there are people I do PR for. I've done PR for, I mean, somebody, Temitayo, and under 1 week, it was 10 million. And of course, and I've done PR for people that have 200,000.
Yeah, I've done PR for quite a lot of
Yeah.
But we're going to check out Dear Afi right now. When we come back, we'll still have Big Sam with us in the studio.
Okay, thank you.
She doesn't even want to talk to you. I'll say it in Yoruba. It's called Alubamajide. I feel leave, but me, no leave, no transfer. Your grip is hard on help me.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You just checked out a star-studded trailer of Dear Afi, directed by Big Sam right here in the building.
Is this how celebrities are supposed to do?
That's how Star do.
That's our start. Your directorial debut.
Yes.
How do you feel, and how did this come about?
I mean, it made me appreciate the fact that movies about the director, really. You know, I did 7.5 Days, and I absolutely love it. Then I realized that there were things I didn't provide when I financed 7.5 Days. That maybe I should have provided it for the director. It's a lot of work. is mentally exhausting. It was mentally exhausting for me because it was my first, and I was going to work with a top DOP that shot King of Boys, Wedding Party, Kasu and Kasu, and if you went to a Nigerian film school, they will tell you that you need to be careful of your DOPs because your DOPs can take over your set. I mean, all these cameramen are looking at me. That's how they are actually. So, and I was going to work with the top one. So I spent a lot of time preparing for the technical part of the movie. I was lucky I got professional actors that would need little or no time to get what I wanted to do. But it was mentally exhausting for me, and the fact that I had to source for the whole money myself. We spent over 30 million producing this film. So while on set, you ran out of money, then you remember that you know Honeypot. Honeypot, how you doing? Send me 2 million. I'll give you later just 2 million. Then you finish 2 million, you remember Amanda, I just need 500 from you. You don't have the kind of sugar daddy that Honeypot will have. 500 is okay.
Wow. Big Sam, thank you so much for coming. I mean, we absolutely love your honesty and your bluntness, and you're one of the very few people that have come and you have given us real facts and figures, and you have told us real challenges.
People want to know how they can reach out to you.
Yeah, how can they reach out to you, please?
Official Sam Olatunji 1. Official Sam Olatunji 1.
Is the big man.
Official Sam Olatunji 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That has been Big Sam with us in the studio. And right here is where we call it a wrap on the first hour of the show. Now look forward to the entertainment news recap in case you missed the news earlier. Of course, our Wow Movies ticket giveaway, daily top 5, movies at the movies, and where are they now? See you at 1.